Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office teardown lab. Today's going to be a little bit of a different type of episode because I've just got a few jobs to do. So I'm just going to chat while I work my way through these jobs. And so let's start with this one. So these were the headphones that I reviewed a while back, the Bluetooth ones. And they have these little sporty things and they stick in your ears. And they're quite good for running and the like because they don't sort of fall out. However, one of them developed an annoying jiggle, which was this one. You can see I've actually pulled it apart a little bit there. And there's the speaker in there, and that was okay. And I sort of discovered that I think it's this lithium cell just jiggling around like that, and that was kind of causing me a discomfort. So what I figured I'd do is just pop a little bit of glue in there. So nothing too technical, I'm afraid, but that's the nature of a lot of small jobs, isn't it? You can just get them done in a few minutes. And this one's nice and simple, so I'm not in any rush. I'm just going to take out a bit of Yoo-hoo, put a tiny blob in behind that battery. And I'm not too worried about not being able to get to that battery. Get to that battery in the future, because to be honest with you, once these die, they're going to stay dead as far as I'm concerned. So I'm just going to put just literally the drip of glue that sort of comes off the bloody end of the glue when you take the lid off. No pressure there at all, it just plops out. I think it's the heat of your hand just heating that tube. Be careful of that. I'm just going to plop that in there. You've got to make those sound effects to make sure it stays put. And I'm just going to put, while I'm at it, a little bit of glue on these. I say a little bit, loads of glue on all of those contact things. The little plastic doodads, because I want it to just sit and stay put in there forever. Probably not much opportunity for servicing this in the future. Get in there. Yeah, I think that's in. It doesn't look like it wants to sit too well, and there's just some of that glue hanging around. There is a tiny gap though. There is supposed to be a gap there because this rubber thing, when it slides on over, does sort of engage in some of that stuff. So I just pop that on. And that is a job well done. So what I'm going to find when I plop that in my ear next, that the this end is going to come off or something. Good. I don't hear a rattle now. Job one done, out of the way. So chuck that here. And the back office, you can't see this, but my desk is such a mess. It's just unbelievable. I've got to do something. I've got to sort out my life and just literally clear out this thing. And I think there was a box by the... God, I've got to check it. Box by the front door. That was from young Mr. Chinny. And so there's that to do. So there's a little bit of a rattle. Here's something I just literally bought in a car boot sale. I paid the grand total of £1 British, and it's a Philips 258 mini pocket memo. So this looked like a nice little bag in, and I just couldn't resist because it's so clean. It just looks like it's never been used. And let's be fair, a lot of people bought these, didn't they, in Argos Cal, especially if you're kids, and you're like, oh yeah, and yeah, never used them. What a weird bottle. So this is some cleaning solution, which is supposed performance cleaning solution for carry more things. I think this is trainer cleaner. My foam clean spray ran out, but I've just found this sitting in there again, sitting in the garage, so it's mine now. Oh god, it's horrible. It's so foamy. That is the worst cleaner I've ever used. So what I want to do anyway at some point is just clean this out properly. I just wanted to check that really. There was the one blemish on it which has this kind of weird thing, and I think there might have been a sticker. You know where you get these things in the shops and they've got a sticker on them? And that's what that was. Anyway, that's going to clean off fine, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I just want to see if it just comes on. I don't have any tapes. And it is such a weird build. It's such a cheap and nasty feeling thing. Ah, I can see where the batteries seem to go in here. Ooh, lovely. And what size is that? Looks like looks like AAA, I'm going to say. Let's go with the old AAA. Cells. No. AA. I've actually got some good batteries for a change now. I'm not sure I want to waste these energizers in this, but let's put them in. Again, no sign of corrosion. There is a tiny mark there though. It does look like there has been a battery in this at some point though, so someone did probably fire it up. So there's the batteries in. Assume I don't need to put this lid back on just to try to go. Right, so far so bad. Nothing. It's such a weird mechanism. It's so plasticky. It's unbelievable, this thing. I don't know if you've ever seen, like the old Walkmans and tape players. They used to be such good quality, but this one, which is for a Philips thing, look, it's just so amazingly kind of clunky and plasticky. I'm not even sure how any of this works. Look, it's just so... It's got some sort of weird interlock action going on. But I'm surprised it's not trying to do something, to be honest with you, because it... I don't think there's like a tape detection setup here. There's a single head and an erase head in there. So you've got the main head and then there's an erase head, but there's not really too many things like a tape detector or something as far as I can tell. So I might have to sort of contact people in the know. We could have a quick look in that though, couldn't we? Let's just pop the lid, shall we? So yeah, this is typical, by the way. I know I don't. Well, sometimes I do film these sort of longish, rambling videos, but this would be typical of me and something I'd get up to. Just notice there's a screw missing here. So I paid £1.50 for this from the vendor, thinking it was a proper, unblemished bargain. But maybe someone's been in this. I don't know. It could be that a screw's never been in there. So tricky, so hard to know what horrors lie beneath. So there doesn't seem to be any screws anywhere else, though. Fortunately, one more actually in here. Let's go for the levering action. So I could ruin my investment now if I'm not careful. There's just definitely no sign of anybody being in it from the plastic. So if anybody was in here, they were very careful. Okay. And that's it. Crikey, isn't that complicated? Didn't expect that, did he? So you've got the microphones potted into the lid, with the LED is fixed into the lid, and the speaker. So they're all like really tightly done. I mean, these must have been really awkward to assemble. And then you have this odd little record lever here on this side. And there's all these interlocks. So that's absolutely bizarre. Again, that was the screw that we thought was missing, but look, it's probably just never been put in there. I don't think they ever bothered with it. In fact, the hole doesn't even look like it's been cut with the sort of self-tapper of the screw. So there's a good chance it'll just work if we can figure out what's going on. It might just be corrosion on these contacts, actually. So let's see if we can operate it out of the lid off so we can figure out at least what these interlocks are doing. So this slider, there's a slider here that's moving up and down, and that's obviously interlocking this vertical plastic piece. So once that's all the way to the right, it shouldn't stop. Ah, there we go. This moving up and down. And what I can see is when this moves up, it's moving a little capstan onto the sort of edge of this drive, and there's a sort of rubber belt that seems to be lining the outside of that drive. But apart from that, everything else looks pretty neat. Oh, it moved. Did you see that? I saw that move briefly, ever so briefly. Come on. Hey, there we go. Ah, that's so cool. It's working. I can hear even sound from the speaker. Yeah, boy. Awesome. Goodness gracious me. So I think I'll just pop the lid back on that. I think that's good. We don't need any more explanation, any more exploration rather. I would definitely just seek out a tape now, a suitable tape to go in it. And I'm thinking we used to get, oops, that button's trying to escape a lot. We used to get those answering machines, if you remember, back in there, which had used this sort of same kind of tape. So maybe one of those is all I need. Yeah, just got to convince it to shut down without. There, crack. Great, that's good, isn't it? I'm pleased now. I'm ever so pleased. Not because, you know, there's all sorts of things at Carboot sale. I tell you what, I was there for like a few hours and it was only half the number of vendors there usually is. And I've had time to kill, so I just walked around there a few times because people were still coming in. And I thought, well, if I hang around, maybe you know, new stuff will appear while I'm there. And there's just no. Oh, cool. That's definitely happier now. Probably just a battery contact thing. And there's no, it's really weird. There's no like electronic stuff anymore. The only thing that was there that someone had was a one of those the old. Do you remember the old TV games, which was sort of like an Atari TV game? They had one of those where it's built into the joystick, and he wanted a $5 for it, and I was like, nah, mate, I've already got one of those. So here's a Technica portable DVD player thing, and I thought this might be fun for the old kids, because if you remember, a couple of years ago at Carboot, I got 2 of these, and I only ended up with one working one. I mean, this is the DVD unit, and there was another head unit which didn't have a DVD in it, and that one died. One of them didn't work, one did, and I remember swapping all the parts, and then this DVD bit with the remote control worked. And it's cool because it had an SD card on it. And the power lead thing's since been snapped off it, which is kind of annoying because I'm guessing it's the same size as this one, and it is. Yeah, I was roaming the Carboot and I was trying to find another AC adapter that would fit this. Didn't. But what's interesting about this one, it does say it's got a lithium cell in it. I did notice that on the writing. So, and it's definitely not functioning right now. So I thought it would be quite fun to open it up and have a look. It does seem a bit bulgy. And that never bodes well, does it, when you get a lithium cell thing that's bulging. But yeah, it was only £1, right? Didn't have a remote control, nothing, just £1. Chances are, though, I kind of feel that all of these things were so similar. If you really want, if you had like that old one, its remote might work on this, but it's not really the point. This is just something that the kids of their all their old DVDs that they've got, and if this works neat with the AC adapter, it's the sort of thing you can just give it to them and just say, go on and get on with it, enjoy, not worry about it if they bust it up or anything like that. A whole £1. So yeah, what else was there? There was a Sinclair Spectrum boxed rubber key with a little box of software, and I didn't even ask, to be honest with you. I'm just so not interested now in those at all. I was thinking, I bet, for one thing, it would probably be silly money because it was the same vendor that wanted a £5 for that Atari 2600 TV game. But also, I don't think I've ever had a bloody Spectrum or even Sinclair computer. I think I've bought Spectrum ZX81s and stuff from Carboot that have ever worked. They've never worked without, fannying around with them. So if you pay like big old money for it, you could be very disappointed. And the problem is as well, unless you really know what you're looking at, which I have to admit I don't when it comes to those. I don't know what the current market value is, so you sometimes find that you'll buy something and then go on eBay and then it'll be, you know, you could have just got it working, protected from someone on eBay. So I'm just working my fingers around now. Let's just see if I haven't missed out any screws. I usually missed out one somewhere. I don't know, it seems pretty compliant. It looks like it's going to go. Ow, 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 ow. I'm biting my thumb there. Let's just open it up, shall we, just in case there's some screw in here or something. No. It does have a screen detect. This is a proper good thing here. It's amazing the sort of cheap plastic stuff, isn't it? How it just feels cheap and plasticky. And I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's because of the nature of the plastic, where they're sort of how they make it. You know, if it's sort of recycled plastic or something like that. So is there a lithium battery in here? It did say that here, didn't it? Built-in Li polymer rechargeable battery. So it does definitely say there is one. I'm not seeing it right now, but I am struggling to get this screen off. But you've got to be a bit careful because there could be a bunch of wires. I suspect there will be. Brute force and ignorance. I just wonder if there is just a screw under one of these things. You never know. There's a secret label screw, do you? Ah, do not tear the label. Got ya. Trying to hide the old screw. I'll tell you what, let's leave it in there. Yeah, that's it. Always one. Right, so there's the screen wires all coming through there. Just going to fold that over. Let's see if we can. Let's just lift it. There is a lithium cell. Wow. That's why. Yeah, I was wondering why it's so deep. I mean, it's surprisingly deep, even for a sort of cheap thing. And the PCB's all bent, so that lithium cell looks puffy. It's a big old puffy lithium cell. Ah, I could feel the PCB relaxing now when I did that. I like this. Look, you got your LEDs. Cute. Your infrared detector. It's so happy shopper, these things, aren't they? They're brilliant. I mean, they're quite good for projects. I've used the screens before for stuff. The screens tend to be just really simple, you know, normal composite screens. So just imagine you were trying to build a portable gaming Raspberry Pi thing. You could gut this out, refinish all the plastics, and it would just be really good. I'm almost tempted to bloody do that now. I think that would be more fun than giving this to my kids. There's my puffy battery. So the contacts to the battery are 3 wires: the red, the black, and the white. These 3. So I need to undo those. Let's unsolder those. Get the old soldering iron on. And I wonder if it's worth. I'm trying to find a suitable pen. It's really hard. Y4. I'll write it on the lid here, what they are, while the soldering iron's heating up. Y4 equals red. Y7 equals white. And Y9 equals black. I mean, it's unlikely I'm probably ever going to bother putting a battery back into this, but you know, if you wanted to, you could. Maybe I'm just trying to think. Maybe will I consider that something? The nice thing about these is, you see, is that if you give your kids tablets, and my kids have both had tablets, they just seem to destroy them. Whereas these things seem relatively robust for what they are. It's very easy for them to manage their sort of library, isn't it, of DVDs. And you can always go to a car boot sale and buy more DVDs for £1 for 5 or something. Alright, let's just lever out this battery. You can't quite see it, but we'll see it in a moment. the usual stuck down one. Crikey. Let's see if there's any way I can do this without breaking everything. Well, we could take this whole DVD mechanism off. Isn't it amazing how they sort of commoditized all these parts? Oh, there's a whole ribbon cable. That makes more sense. Oh, I thought is that all you need for a DVD? Couple of loose wires. No, there's a whole ribbon there, which is going to be a nightmare to get back in. Right, but probably worth it in the end. I was just thinking if I've got a power bank or something lying around that we could just use for this. There we go, nice. Boy oh boy, that is puffy. So that's a 7.6 volt, 1000 milliamp hours. I mean, it's pretty sort of standard. I mean, I could just definitely get something in there, but not today, eh? It's not worth it. But I might keep this bit of plastic. That was quite neat. So something I want to look at then while I'm here is the this connector for the power. There is really annoyingly small, but I don't think it's convenient enough footprint that we can just remove that and flip that with something else. So I think I'm going to go for the whole universal adapter solution, so I'm probably going to find that. But until I do, I'll probably just sling this like this in a corner and work on that. So we got this is the button screen detect. It's really simple, really. I'm just looking at the chip. There's your WinBond chip there. I wonder if that's the main processing unit for everything. Just a DVD controller, maybe everything, the firmware, the lots on that. You know, when you used to get those tellies with the built-in DVD players and stuff. Standard. It's standard, isn't it? So yeah, thanks for having a look through my car boot sales stuff, and hopefully it will be working next time. So I just wanted to show you real quick. I actually did just... Oh, hang on. It's a bit noisy, isn't it? Turn the volume down. I did actually just hardwire it. I put a little hole there at the tip of my soldering iron and basically put this 9-volt power supply straight in and then just tied a knot in there, so it's got good strain relief. And all in all, I'm really pleased. This thing actually works really nicely. It's nice and clean. It does work pretty well. I've got, of course, Deck the Halls in there. That's my go-to test CD DVD with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. I'm not quite sure if you can see the screen under the sort of lights I've got here, but it is actually not bad at all. It has good settings and menu and all of the usual stuff here. It's even got wide angle and an AV out, so that's pretty much everything a young child might want to mess with. Certainly for £1, I don't think you can go far wrong. Again, thank you for watching.